So our MC's neighbor's sister is a total green tea, right after his girlfriend Liu Ruyan's white moonlight returns. His neighbor's sister flies back too. Right on cue, the white moonlight calls Liu Ruyan crying for help. The guy claims he's sick, so Liu Ruyan instantly dumps our MC and runs off to her beloved. But two can play that game. The neighbor's sister calls our MC crying that her stomach hurts. He rushes over immediately, but you guys are not ready for what happens next. Both couples end up at the same place. Later at a banquet, the white moonlight slyly hugs Liu Ruyan. Our green tea sister immediately copies him and falls into the MC's arms, making Liu Ruyan absolutely lose her mind. She completely snaps and charges at the sister, screaming that she is sick of her fake green tea acts. The sister turns pale and hides behind the MC, whimpering about how scary the angry girlfriend is. Naturally, the MC shields his neighbor's sister and angrily snaps at Liu Ruyan to back off. He tells her to stop making a scene, especially since today is his actual birthday. Fast forward a bit, and Liu Ruyan is finally free after 2 weeks to have a candlelit dinner with him. But when she keeps staring down at her phone, the MC can't help but ask what's so important. He asks who she is texting, and she just smiles and says it is her white moonlight, Xiao Yu. Stunned, he bites his lip and reminds her that they are literally on a date right now. Yet, she is busy texting her ex. Catching a glimpse of his hurt expression, she sighs. She finally puts her phone down, telling him to stop being so sensitive and angry. The MC tries his best to ignore the pain, changing the subject to talk about his week. But her phone just keeps buzzing over and over. By the third time, it's getting ridiculous. She can't resist picking it up again, smiling widely as she types out a quick reply. She looks up and asks what he just said, but he's too exhausted to care and says nothing. Telling her to just eat, she immediately goes back to texting while stuffing her face. Talk about disrespectful. Completely losing his appetite, the MC puts down his utensils and tells her he is done. He suggests she just leave to go accompany her precious Xiao Yu instead. She looks up, annoyed. She scowls, asking if he seriously thinks they are flirting and calling him paranoid as usual. To prove her innocence, she shoves her phone in his face to show him the texts. He glances at the screen. They really aren't flirting, but instead, they are talking about him. The white moonlight has been asking for every single detail of their date, and she answered everything. She described exactly how happy the MC looked and how he behaved. Every word he said was typed out and sent to her ex, while the ex played judge. Honestly, this is just straight up insane behavior. He asks if she is literally live streaming their date to her ex, and she just casually nods. Shaking with anger, he stands up and tells her this was supposed to be their private dinner. He demands to know why her ex had to be involved. Liu Ruyan looks genuinely confused. She frowns and explains that the white moonlight actually helped plan this entire date for them. She defends the guy as being sweet, accusing the MC of making a big deal out of nothing. She asks him when he will finally grow up, leaving our MC feeling absolutely cold inside. He stares at her, realization slowly dawning on him that she didn't put any effort into this. She shrugs, admitting she was simply too busy and let her ex handle everything. She tells him the ex wanted to help, so he even picked out the birthday watch. He booked the restaurant too, so she asks him why he can't just be grateful. The MC looks over at the beautifully wrapped gift box sitting on the table. It looks so pristine, but it honestly feels like a massive slap to the face. With burning cheeks and a trembling voice, he looks at her and asks a final question. He asks how she could let her ex buy his gift, but she just shrugs and asks what the big deal is. Yuan literally stops breathing. Like, bro, she actually asked him what was wrong with that? Just then, his phone starts buzzing, and guess who is calling? It is Zhou Yu. Liu Ruyan snatches the phone right out of his hand, leaving him staring at his empty palm. In the quiet restaurant, Zhou Yu whines over the speaker that he is sick and feeling terrible. His voice is so loud and annoying. Liu Ruyan panics, asking him where it hurts. He says he does not know, just dizzy and feverish. Liu Ruyan turns to Yuan with this fake guilty look, saying Zhou Yu is sick. He just got back to the country and does not know his way around. She says she has to take him to the hospital. Yuan grabs her sleeve, reminding her it is his birthday. She promised to have dinner with him, but Ruyan just patronizes him, telling him to be good. She asks if he is not already full, slaps his hand away, and just rushes out. Yuan stares at her retreating figure as his heart completely shatters. A massive, painful void opens up inside him as he looks down at the messy table. Feeling completely abandoned, he finally stands up to leave. But then, the waiter runs after him, calling for him to stop. The waiter awkwardly tells him that he has not paid the bill yet. Ain't no way. After paying, Yuan runs out into the streets, feeling completely numb. The cold night wind hits him, making him shiver to his very bones. Ever since Zhou Yu came back 6 months ago, their relationship has been completely ruined. This guy was Liu Ruyan's old crush, her ultimate white moonlight. No matter what they were doing, one call from Xiao Yu and she would run. Even on their private dates, this third wheel would constantly show up. They would laugh and flirt while Yuan was left walking behind them like a ghost. Honestly, who wouldn't start feeling resentful after dealing with that garbage? They argued constantly, but Ruyan always accused him of just making a big deal out of nothing. But after today, Yuan realizes he is just done. He is completely exhausted. Suddenly, his phone rings. He pulls it out to check the screen. It is a call from Shen Niannian, his sweet childhood neighbor. She is 2 years younger and moved abroad back in high school. They had not seen each other in years until just 2 days ago. She somehow got his number and randomly called to say she was back in town. She asked him to pick her up, which felt a bit sudden. Since he was busy with Ruyan, he politely turned her down. Now she is calling again. He hesitates but finally answers the phone. Her sweet voice comes through, crying that her stomach hurts really bad. Yuan tells her she needs to get to a hospital immediately. But she says she just got back and has no idea where to go. She whimpers that she does not know anyone else in the city but him. Wait, this excuse sounds exactly like the lies Zhou Yu used to feed them. He always claimed he only knew Ruyan and had to run to her for everything. Ruyan even defended him, saying the guy literally had no other friends. That is why she had to be there for him. Yuan stays silent. He calmly tells Niannian she should grab a cab to the clinic. But she starts crying, sobbing that the pain is too much to even walk. She begs him to come take her. Will he actually go? She literally tells him he's the only one she has, and he totally ignored her arrival. Is he rejecting her again? She sounds so sad she is about to shatter. A massive wave of guilt hits him, and he instantly tells her to wait because he is coming right over. See, Shen Niannian lost her parents years ago and cut ties with her greedy relatives over inheritance drama. No, friends, our MC is the only person she actually knows. And she wasn't lying. He had actually bailed on her welcome back dinner just days ago. Leaving her stranded when she needs a hospital? Yeah, his conscience is taking a serious beating right now. There's no way he can just abandon her like this, so he rushes out to help her. At the hotel, her door is wide open. He steps inside, quietly calling her name, and hears a sweet, muffled voice from under the blanket calling him brother. Following the sound, he looks over as the blanket on the bed begins to squirm. Suddenly, a familiar, absolutely drop-dead gorgeous face pokes out, causing his breath to completely hitch. Snow-white skin, pink hair cascading down. She has bright, deep blue eyes and a perfectly high nose bridge. Her rosy, thin lips make her look incredibly young and stunning. She still has that innocent vibe from back then, when she was already gorgeous. But who knew that after a few years apart, she would look like an exquisite living doll? Shen Niannian softly calls him brother with a stuffy, heavily congested voice, sounding so sad and aggrieved. Her face is a cheat code, and that whimpering voice is pure damage. His heart melts, and he immediately asks if she's still in pain. He rushes over to her side, and Niannian looks up at him pitifully, murmuring that it hurts. He says they are going to the hospital, and she obediently nods her head. Before they even leave, she wraps her own coat over his shoulders, whispering his name. She says it is freezing outside, and she doesn't want him getting sick. His chest warms, his affection for her instantly skyrockets. While his cold fiancé, Liu Ruyan, never cared about his comfort, this girl actually prioritizes him. He helps her to the nearest top-tier hospital, but the poor girl seems to be in agonizing pain. She clings closely to him, and while her gorgeous face looks exactly like an innocent doll, her actual figure is absolutely top-tier and mind-blowing. Every single inch of her delicate body pressing against him leaves him completely frozen and stiff. They are too close, and her burning temperature radiates straight through the soft fabric. It sears into his shoulder, sending a jolt straight down his spine and directly to his heart. He feels like a withered leaf, curling up and melting under the sheer intensity of her warmth. His throat goes dry, and Niannian seems to instantly pick up on his heavy discomfort. She softly whispers that it is fine, and he does not need to support her anymore. Trying to be strong, she pulls herself up, and her delicate warmth leaves his shoulder. He instantly feels a massive sense of relief, quietly letting out a breath he was holding. But as the cold wind blows, Niannian shivers in her thin clothes and wraps her arms tightly. She insists she can walk alone, coughing and claiming she is fine. But then she breaks into a violent coughing fit, her pale face flushing a deep red. Her bright blue eyes instantly fill up with soft tears, making her look incredibly fragile and adorable. Instantly filled with intense guilt, he slips off his coat and tells her to put it on. Niannian shakes her head, telling him she is not cold and he should wear it instead. But even as she refuses, she is literally shivering and her perfect figure is on full display. Standing at least 170 centimeters tall, her body has insane, jaw-dropping curves. But Shen Niannian has this doll-like face looking completely helpless. That totally tones down his fit build, making Shen Yuan remember when he used to crouch in the hallway. He was crying all by himself, looking so weak and fragile. He was completely helpless, just like right now. Heart softening, Shen Yuan sighs. "Put it on," he says. "You are already sick." He shakes his head, insisting Shen Yuan wear it, so our guy suggests they share it. Shen Niannian looks up with this surprised, happy look in his eyes. He asks if it is really okay, and Shen Yuan says yes. Hesitating for a moment, the boy softly mutters his thanks. He drapes the coat over his shoulders, pulling Shen Yuan inside to share the warmth. Inside, it is incredibly warm. But then, Shen Yuan asks if he wears perfume, and Niannian completely freezes. He nervously whispers, "Do you not like it, brother?" Shen Yuan shrugs, admitting he used to hate heavily perfumed women. He thought they were bad news, but that was back in school. Now he does not care, and they cuddle close until reaching the hospital at 9. It is late, so they head straight into the emergency room lobby together. But the moment they step inside, they spot Liu Ruyan helping her precious Zhou Yu. She looks incredibly anxious, arguing with one of the nurses at the counter. Shen Yuan stops in his tracks, wondering why they are here, while Niannian looks confused. He asks what is wrong, but Shen Yuan just says it is nothing. He calmly leads Shen Niannian to the counter, telling the nurse they need a doctor. The nurse asks what is wrong, and Shen Yuan tells her it is a stomachache. Suddenly, Liu Ruyan gasps from the side, asking Shen Yuan what he is doing here. Shen Yuan looks up as her eyes aggressively dart between him and Shen Niannian. She literally abandons her pale boyfriend Zhou Yu and storms right over to them, demanding to know who the boy is and why they are together so late. Her face is pure fury, reacting with intense jealousy. Our guy blinks, looking down only to realize the situation. The two of them are still completely huddled under one coat, which is pretty awkward. He pulls back the coat and calmly offers a quick introduction, introducing Shen Niannian as his sister, making Liu Ruyan glare deep into the boy. She turns back to Shen Yuan, demanding since when did he have a sister? Shen Yuan explains he's just a childhood neighbor who recently returned from abroad. Shen Niannian gives Liu Ruyan a polite but weak little smile. Her gaze turns absolutely freezing at the mention of some neighbor's sister. She snarls that he is basically a stranger, questioning why they are together at night. Honestly, the double standards are insane here, since she is literally with Zhou Yu right now. How does she have the nerve to question him? Shen Niannian leans in close, whispering, "Who is this older sister? She is so scary." That instantly sets her off, and she snaps, asking what the hell he is playing at. Shen Niannian flinches, quickly looking down and not daring to say another word. Seeing him look so fragile is heartbreaking, and Shen Yuan finally snaps. He angrily yells at Liu Ruyan that Shen Niannian is literally sick right now. "Why are you yelling at him?" Liu Ruyan demands, her eyes wide with anger. She points at her own nose. Me? Yelling at him? Shen Yuan, look closely. I am your actual girlfriend, yet you two walked in looking so close. Am I not even allowed to ask? Meanwhile, the nearby nurse immediately perks up her ears. Shen Niannian acts completely shocked, asking if they're actually a couple. She grabs Shen Yuan's hand, gently pleading with him not to fight over her. Then she turns to Liu Ruyan, saying the older sister can scold her instead. But she cannot yell at brother, since she was sick and alone in the city.
She had no choice but to call him, and he kindly brought her to the hospital.
There is nothing between them, and she says if she knew they would fight, she would have never called. She begs them not to let her ruin their relationship. Talk about a masterclass in playing the victim. Shen Yuan raises his chin, asking if she heard that, leaving Ruyan completely stunned. She opens her mouth, looking incredibly frustrated but unable to find the words. With nothing to say, she cannot even argue back. Meanwhile, Zhou Yu is watching them from his chair. He gets up and walks over, weakly telling Shen Yuan not to be angry. Apparently, Ruyan only brought him because she was worried, and there is nothing between them. Asking Shen Yan not to misunderstand, he claims if he knew they would fight, he would have never asked for her help, but the damage is already done. Everyone in the room looks extremely weirded out, and Liu Ruyan turns her gaze toward Zhou Yu. For the very first time, she looks at him with genuine suspicion, but the clueless green tea guy has no idea. He walks right up to Shen Yuan, acting all innocent and fragile, whining that it is all his fault for getting sick in the first place. If Shen Yuan wants to blame someone, he should blame him instead of fighting with Ruyan. Honestly, in the past, Shen Yuan probably would have lost his mind and started screaming at him. But with Shen Niannian backing him up, he keeps his cool. A cold reply follows. They are not fighting over him, so stop flattering himself.
Zhou Yu is left utterly speechless with embarrassment, while Shen Niannian quietly clears her throat.
She says in a gentle voice that it is all her fault. If she had not gotten sick, her brother would never have brought her to the hospital. Then they would not have ended up fighting, so Ruyan should just yell at her instead. This absolutely triggers Liu Ruyan, who snaps that this is between her and Shen Yuan. She demands to know what right Shen Niannian has to speak right now. Warning her to stop the act, she leaves Zhou Yu completely frozen in his tracks. Shen Yuan glances at Zhou Yu and tells Ruyan that she is actually completely right. This is between them, and there is indeed no room for other people's green tea acts. Suddenly, Ruyan freezes as the realization hits her like a truck. The girl must have remembered that Zhou Yu said the exact same thing earlier. Right as the tension peaks, Zhou Yu suddenly clutches his head and groans about being dizzy. His body sways back and forth, making it look like he is about to pass out. Ruyan reflexively catches him, asking if he's okay. He shakes his head and leans heavily against her shoulder, murmuring that he is fine. Whispering a thank you, he shoots a smug, subtle glance right at Shen Yuan. Seeing them act so intimate makes Shen Yuan's blood boil. But right then, Shen Niannian suddenly clutches her stomach and cries out in pain. Asking how much longer until she can see a doctor, he quickly supports her. Shen Yuan tells the nurse to keep registering him. Getting treatment is what matters. He will deal with him later, but then Liu Ruyan spots him holding Niannian. Furious, she charges straight at him. Left without support, Zhou Yu Liang stumbles and nearly faceplants right there. With pure disgust, she violently yanks him closer. She glares and screams at Shen Niannian, calling her a toxic green tea. Too disgusting. Shen Niannian turns pale, opening her eyes wide in fear as she calls out to her. She asks what she did wrong and why Sister Yannian hates her so much. Then she looks at Shen Yuan, calling him brother with a face of pure pity. Shen Yuan forcefully shakes off Liu Ruyan and steps right back to Niannian. Holding her up, he yells back at Liu Ruyan, demanding to know what Niannian did. Are you crazy? Liu Ruyan is practically fuming, shouting that the girl is clearly just acting. Furious, Shen Yuan snaps back that she is the fake one, while Niannian bites her lip. Looking down, she softly begs them not to fight over her. Still, she acts tough despite the pain. He snaps. Can you stop being so unreasonable? Niannian can barely walk from the pain. You are seriously being completely absurd.
Liu Ruyan looks utterly devastated, staring back at him in absolute disbelief.
Total deja vu. He suddenly remembers when Zhou Yu got sick in the middle of the night, warning her that the guy was definitely faking it. Back then, Liu Ruyan called him petty, dramatic, and totally unreasonable.
Honestly, throwing those exact toxic words right back at her is the ultimate level of satisfying.
Ignoring her, he finishes registering and helps Shen Niannian to a bench. He registers while she follows right behind.
Standing right behind him, she speaks up with pure anger in her voice.
She demands to know their relationship, but he tells her she is just his sister.
Liu Ruyan refuses to buy it, asking if a normal sister acts this close. Shen Yuan inhales deeply and turns around to face her. He brings up her hugging Zhou Yu earlier.
Liu Ruyan quickly defends herself, claiming the guy was literally about to faint. She was just helping him, so Shen Yuan fires back that Niannian is sick too. Since she could not walk, he had to help her inside. Left speechless. Finally, it is his turn, so he finishes registering and walks away. He runs back and reassures her. It should be their turn soon, so she just needs to hang in there.
Niannian gives him a weak, fragile smile. She pulls his hand, telling him to sit down and rest.
His heart melts. She leans her head onto his shoulder just as Liu Ruyan returns.
She completely loses it and screams his name.
Ruyan screams at him to set some boundaries since she is literally his girlfriend.
Niannian blinks innocently next to them, but Sister Ruyan?
You were literally clinging to that guy over there without any boundaries either. Ruyan chokes up before desperately arguing that Zhou Yu is actually super sick.
She claims she was only helping him, but Niannian pouts that she is super sick too.
My brother is just taking care of me, plus you forced us here early but registered late.
That means his condition is not even that bad, but you called me a faker.
Honestly, I think that guy is the real faker, which absolutely triggers Ruyan. She shoves Niannian and snaps, I am talking to Shen Yuan here.
Who asked you? Yuan stands right up.
And boom, he lands a massive, resounding slap right across Ruyan's face, which is actually crazy. Holding her cheek, she stares up at him in absolute shock. Her eyes fill with total betrayal as she gasps, Yuan, did you actually hit me?
He looks down coldly. Unreasonable.
You are toxic, mean, and keep targeting innocent Shen Niannian over and over. Deserving? Ruyan just glares back with pure hatred. Her lips tremble. Suddenly, Yuan gets a massive wave of deja vu. This exact scene played out before, back when Xiao Yu fell down. Ruyan immediately accused Yuan of pushing him and chewed him out, calling him completely unreasonable and toxic.
Niannian gently tugs on his sleeve, whispering softly for him not to be mad.
She claims Sister Ruyan did not mean it, then looks right at Ruyan with pure sincerity. You really have to believe my brother and me. There is absolutely nothing inappropriate between us. Please do not misunderstand, but this only makes Ruyan even more furious. Now Zhou Yu steps in to play peacemaker, whining that Ruyan has worked so hard.
How could you hit her?
But Niannian speaks up. Excuse me, uncle. You are completely out of line here. Just now, Sister Ruyan was yelling at me. My brother only stood up to protect me. How is that picking a fight? You might feel bad for her, but do not throw shade at my brother. Everyone stares at Zhou Yu in shock, but Niannian just nods and says, yeah. You are way older than me, so calling you uncle only makes sense. This girl has a black belt in verbal comebacks. Seeing Zhou Yu completely speechless is pure gold. Yuan can barely hold back his laughter, but Niannian turns to him next. She says the uncle is right. Sister Ruyan did work hard rushing to care for him. Please do not fight with her over me. Hearing this makes Yuan think back. He remembers exactly how Ruyan ditched him for Zhou Yu and suddenly has zero regrets about that slap. He coldly tells Ruyan, since you worked so incredibly hard caring for Zhou Yu, why don't you take him over there, rest up, and stop looking for trouble? Ruyan desperately tries to explain that she is not tired at all. She stammers that it is not even about being tired, she just really wants to talk. Yuan coldly turns away. They have nothing to discuss, as the clinic speaker calls their number.
He helps Niannian toward the doctor, while Ruyan desperately chases after them, shouting his name. But they are already inside. After a quick checkup, the doctor diagnoses Shen Niannian with a mild case of gastroenteritis. Walking out, Yuan laughs and says calling Zhou Yu an uncle almost sent him to the grave. That was hilarious, and Niannian just winks right back at him.
She tells him she has to stand by her big brother because they were bullying him.
She was determined to help him, and hearing this makes Yuan's heart instantly melt.
Honestly, our guy already noticed Shen Niannian is acting like a total green tea, just like Zhou Yu.
But he cannot even bring himself to hate her because she is constantly helping him out.
If she had not been there today, seeing his cheating girlfriend Liu Ruyan with her guy friend, that exact intimate moment would have completely made him lose his mind and explode with rage. He would have run over to cause a massive embarrassing scene right then and there. This exact toxic cycle happened multiple times before, and every single time, he lost badly. But today, with Shen Niannian playing the perfect wingwoman, he did not have to suffer alone. You have to admit, an adorable, caring green tea girl like her is literally impossible to resist. Now, he finally understands how amazing his girlfriend must have felt having her male bestie constantly around. He finally gets why she always protected Zhou Yu, and honestly now he wants to protect Shen Niannian too. And here is the legendary character arc, questioning the green tea, understanding the green tea.
And finally, loving her. Once Shen Niannian finishes her doctor visit,
he gets a cab to take her to her hotel, but she begs him to stay with her.
Yuan feels it is not right because after all, he has not officially broken up yet. He should not be staying in a hotel room with another girl, so he ignores her sweet pleas.
He firmly walks away and steps out of the hotel.
He calls Liu Ruyan, desperately wanting to have a very serious talk about what is happening between them. But when the call connects, Zhou Yu's smug voice answers, saying, "Sorry, Brother Yan."
You will have to wait because Ruyan is currently taking a shower. He promises she will call back later, his voice dripping with fake apology and obvious pride. Zhou Yu never actually curses or raises his voice at anyone.
He always speaks so calmly in that slow, annoying tone, yet every single word he says completely triggers our main character's emotions.
This is actually insane. Yuan is shocked that his girlfriend is actually showering at another man's house. But surprisingly, there is no rage, probably because he was already mentally prepared for this betrayal. Now that his girlfriend has actually slept with someone else, his mind is somehow completely calm and still. Zhou Yu hangs up, and the cab driver asks if they are leaving, snapping him back. He notices the booked car has already pulled up beside him, so he gets in.
He starts thinking, since they already slept together, is it finally time to break up?
He does not have much dating experience, and Liu Ruyan was his longest relationship. He invested everything into her, so her cheating naturally makes him feel angry and heartbroken.
Knowing how much effort he put into this romance, his emotions start to swing wildly back and forth.
Remembering all their sweet memories together, his feelings start taking over again.
Once again, he falls back into jealousy, anger, and deep sorrow. Desperately wanting to confront Liu Ruyan face-to-face immediately, he pulls out his phone to call and demand a meeting. Suddenly, Shen Niannian's name flashes on the screen, and he answers with a frustrated mind. He asks what's wrong, and she sweetly asks if her big brother made it home yet.
He says not yet, and she carefully asks if he and Ruyan are having some issues. He denies it, but she tells him he must speak up if he's unhappy. She warns him not to bottle it up, promising that no matter what happens, she will always support him. He mutters a quick thank you and goodbye.
He is in a rush to call Liu Ruyan, and is just about to hang up,
when she suddenly softly wishes him a happy birthday. He completely freezes in shock as she quietly wonders if she got the date wrong. He snaps out of his shock and quickly shakes his head. It is crazy that she still remembers after all this time. It has been 8 years since Shen Niannian left. Yet she actually remembers his birthday. It feels like his frozen heart is suddenly being pulled out of the ice and dropped right into a warm hot spring. He instantly feels completely safe. Shen Niannian just smiles and tells him to open up his bag. He quickly unzips it and pulls out a gorgeous, sleek little box. He has no idea when she even slipped it in there, but he slowly opens it. Inside is a stunning, shiny gold watch, a literal Patek Philippe, guys.
The craftsmanship is absolutely flawless. It is a total showstopper.
He is staring at it in pure disbelief. The gem on it is huge and heavy.
He figures it cannot be a real gem because that would cost a fortune. It is probably just cubic zirconia or something, but honestly, even if it is fake, he absolutely loves it and sincerely thanks her.
He tells her it is the best birthday gift he has received all year, and she just smiles, saying she is glad he likes it.
But then she looks down, apologizing for making him run around on his birthday and ruining his mood. Her voice cracks like she is carrying all the guilt. He immediately cuts her off. None of this is her fault. Shen Niannian sighs, saying she feels like she ruined things between him and Sister Yan. She blames herself and asks if she will even be allowed to see him again. Since she caused the fight today, she suggests she should probably just disappear.
She promises not to bother them anymore, but he instantly panics, begging her to stay.
He tells her today has nothing to do with her. Normally, he hates showing his weakness. And he definitely does not vent about his personal life to acquaintances. But she actually remembered his birthday. She got him a gift, and now she wants to leave out of pure guilt.
What a sweet, innocent girl. There is no way he can let her keep blaming herself.
So he spills everything that happened tonight, and she just listens quietly. She sighs deeply and tells him it is entirely Liu Ruyan's fault. He did nothing wrong, and she cannot believe a great guy like him is being treated this way.
His girlfriend clearly does not appreciate him. Honestly, any other woman would cherish him.
They would want to be glued to his side. Talk about a massive ego boost for our guy. He asks if she really means it, and she promises she does. They lose track of time chatting the whole ride home.
It is only when he gets back to his apartment that he realizes he completely forgot to call Liu Ruyan.
But the anger is gone. He just does not have the energy to argue anymore, so he lets it go. He shuts off his phone, gets ready for bed, and falls right asleep. Next morning, phone on. Right away, he sees over a dozen missed calls and a flood of texts from Liu Ruyan. She is demanding to know why he turned his phone off and accusing him of being with Shen Niannian. But then she changes her tone, apologizing for abandoning him on his birthday and promising to make it up to him. Staring at those desperate texts, he hesitates. In their entire relationship, he was always the insecure one, constantly walking on eggshells. He was always the one spamming her with calls and texts, but now, the tables have completely turned. It is a weird feeling. He has been craving this kind of effort from her for so long. Yet now that he finally has the upper hand, it does not bring him any joy. Honestly, it is like he just does not care anymore. He texts back 2 words, "Let us break up." With that sent, he gets dressed, heads to work, and steps right into the office elevator. Out of nowhere, Yuan runs into his ex, Liu Ruyan, who immediately squeezes over. He whispers an apology for last night. Suddenly, a buzz. Looking down, Yuan sees a super cute morning greeting from Shen Niannian. He smiles and replies, "Morning," getting an instant reply. She asks if he is at work yet. Looking up, Yuan asks what his ex just said, leaving him silent. Liu Ruyan just mumbles it is nothing. They work in the same building, so he leaves first. Yuan just shrugs and keeps texting Niannian. Work ends, and there is Liu Ruyan waiting right outside the door. Talk about a massive plot twist. This high-level corporate executive is actually waiting for him. Before, Yuan did all the waiting. Now the tables have turned, but he is not happy.
Once he would have been thrilled. Now, nothing. Seeing him, Liu Ruyan smiles and waves happily, calling him over.
He booked a nice restaurant for tonight. Yuan coldly sidesteps him, walking straight toward the elevator. Busy, Yuan says, but Ruyan grabs his hand.
He begs for a real chat, even if they are breaking up.
Pleading for a chance to explain rather than getting dumped over a single text message. He refuses to accept things ending just like that. Everyone around them is starting to stare.
People are whispering while Ruyan tightly holds his hand.
This proud man is actually begging in public. Honestly, he was always so arrogant, especially after Zhou Yu showed up. But the constant neglect led to this. You would think he would just happily run off to Zhou Yu at this point. Seeing him swallow his pride like this is honestly so wild and unexpected. Yuan finally nods. "Let us talk," he says, letting Ruyan breathe again. They get into the car and head out.
Total gridlock. Ruyan desperately tries to force a conversation.
Seeing him scramble for topics reminds Yuan of how he used to do the exact same thing. A complete role reversal.
He used to hang on to every single word, sharing everything with him.
Now he is just completely bored. And then his phone buzzes. It is another text.
Yuan declines immediately.
She asks if he is making up with his ex. The car suddenly stops. Ruyan looks extremely annoyed, demanding to know who he is texting. Hearing her name, Ruyan instantly pales. He weakly asks what they are talking about, but Onion just ignores him. Our boy just keeps on typing, and Liu Ruyan finally goes quiet. They arrive at the restaurant in pure silence. Before, he would have loved this. Now, he doesn't care. They sit down. Ruyan immediately starts apologizing.
She says she shouldn't have abandoned him yesterday, begging him not to break up.
But our boy drops a bomb. You slept with Zhou Yu, so why shouldn't we split? Liu Ruyan is completely shocked, but he reminds her that he called her last night. Zhou Yu picked up, telling him she was in his shower. She quickly scrambles to explain. She just dropped him off, and he poured her some water. It accidentally spilled on her clothes, which is the only reason she showered there. She swears she left right after her shower. Classic excuse, right? She keeps rambling, but his phone suddenly vibrates. He checks it, and it's a text from Shen Niannian saying she is so hungry. He tells her to go eat. She replies she has zero appetite.
She asks if he has eaten, what is on his plate.
He snaps a quick photo of the fancy spread.
She says the food looks absolutely delicious.
They get totally locked into their chat. But suddenly, his phone gets snatched away, forcing him to look up. Liu Ruyan is absolutely fuming, furiously complaining that he's ignoring her just to text another woman. He frowns and demands his phone back, while she just glares at him. She reluctantly hands it back, looking all hurt. He grabs the phone, finishes his sentence, and hits send like a boss. Only then does he look up. You were happily texting Xiao Yu the whole time, even live streaming our date to him. Ruyan opens her mouth, but only mumbles a quiet apology. Our boy shakes his head. No need for that. If she wants, she can text Zhou Yu right now. He literally does not care. I text my girl, you text your guy. Easy.
Hearing this, Ruyan looks down, her eyes turning red.
She mutters that she finally understands his pain, apologizing for hurting him.
Honestly, listening to her beg is just getting annoying now.
He waited too long for this apology. Now, that love has completely withered and rotted away into nothingness. It is too late. No matter what she says, his heart is completely cold. His phone buzzes again. It is Shen Niannian. She wants to join, and our boy immediately invites her over. She asks if it is okay, worried about disturbing his date. He quickly sends her the address. She will be there in 15 minutes. He finally looks up. He casually asks Ruyan to repeat whatever she was just saying. Ruyan looks completely devastated. Her eyes fill with pain as she desperately apologizes all over again. He is exhausted. Standing up, he tells her they are done. Enjoy dinner alone. And just like that, he walks right out. Liu Ruyan calls out from behind, desperately refusing to accept the breakup. Yuan sighs deeply, thinking about how hard it is to understand your past self. He cannot even believe that just yesterday, his heart was aching so badly over this toxic ex. Back then, he was consumed by jealousy, absolutely terrified of losing her. He always worried that some other guy named Zhou Yu would steal her away. He used to lie awake at night, never expecting he would actually end it first. And the crazy part is, now that it is over, he feels absolutely no regret. He walks out of the restaurant and waits downstairs. Soon, a gorgeous girl wearing a beautiful light-colored dress appears right at the main entrance. When Shen Niannian steps into the lobby, it is like a literal ray of sunshine. Everyone in the room is instantly staring at her because she is honestly just built different. Instead of calling out to her immediately, Yuan just silently admires the view. Shen Niannian is not smiling, keeping a completely blank expression. Her eyes look incredibly cold and elegant, highlighting her absolutely flawless and beautiful face.
She carries herself like a cold goddess descended to earth, radiating a clear stay-away vibe.
But as she looks around the busy lobby, she quickly spots Yuan waiting for her.
Suddenly, her eyes curve into a sweet smile, instantly melting all the coldness away like spring arrived.
It is like flowers blooming. She quickly walks over with her long legs.
In just a few steps, she is by his side, leaning in with a cute smile. She tells him she arrived, and Yuan gets up from the sofa with a smile.
He promises to treat her to some great food, and they walk upstairs laughing together. Right as they reach the entrance, they run into a completely devastated-looking Liu Ruyan walking out.
Seeing the two of them together, her eyes widen in pure shock. Shen Niannian sweetly greets her, saying she heard that Liu Ruyan was having dinner here with Yuan. She asks if she can join, leaving Liu Ruyan completely stunned.
Then she plays the innocent green tea card, claiming she did not mean to intrude. She adds that she was just nearby, but she can leave if Liu Ruyan minds. But Yuan quickly grabs her hand, telling her not to worry about his ex. He offers to treat her privately, making Shen Niannian look at him in surprise. She glances back at Liu Ruyan, insisting she cannot possibly ruin their dinner date like this.
She apologizes and suggests that all three of them should just eat together.
With that, she grabs both of them and drags them right back into the restaurant.
Just like that, they are having dinner together. Talk about the most awkward situation ever, guys.
Yuan keeps gesturing for his ex to leave, but for some reason, she stays.
She actually remains there. Yuan thinks about it for a second.
Since it is just a simple meal anyway, he decides to just let it slide.
Shen Niannian places a piece of salmon on his plate, telling him to eat his favorite food.
Yuan is honestly shocked that she still remembers his preferences, but she just winks and says, of course.
She proudly reminds him that as his childhood friend, she remembers every single thing about him. She keeps piling more dishes onto his plate, and since she is being so sweet, he naturally does not refuse, eating and chatting with her the entire time.
Having been separated for so long, they both have a lot to catch up on.
They have endless topics to talk about, while Liu Ruyan repeatedly tries to chime in.
She keeps asking him if the food is good or if he needs anything.
She even mentions his recent movie, but Yuan only gives cold, polite replies. He keeps chatting with Shen Niannian, leaving Liu Ruyan completely shut out of the conversation. She has to eat all by herself, looking incredibly lonely and miserable. Seeing her like that reminds him of his past self, back when Zhou Yu first returned to the country. Zhou Yu constantly clung to Liu Ruyan, turning their private dates into awkward three-person hangouts. Since they were childhood friends, they would always gossip about their past. They talked endlessly, acting like nobody else was even in the room. Back then, Shen Yuan could not join in at all, forced to sit there in silence. But now the tables have turned. Honestly, if they were still together, and he noticed his partner feeling left out, he would have stopped chatting with Niannian immediately.
Just to protect the feelings of Liu Ruyan, but they are officially over now.
Why should he care about her now when she never cared about his feelings back then? Once they step outside after dinner, Liu Ruyan finally snaps. She runs up, grabs his hand, and demands to know if he brought this woman just to make her jealous. Her voice is dripping with anger, and she glares at Shen Niannian with pure hatred. Shen Yuan is stunned for a second before coldly shaking her off. He tells her to stop flattering herself, but her eyes are already tearing up. She points at Niannian, sobbing that ever since this girl showed up, Shen Yuan has been ignoring her and treating her so coldly.
He frowns and points out that she did the exact same thing when Xiao Yu appeared.
Instead of feeling guilty, she laughs and claims he is just doing this to get back at her. She actually smiles, convinced he hired someone just to make her mad. She adjusts her clothes and asks Shen Niannian if Shen Yuan paid her. Did he pay you to act close to him? Name your price.
She offers to double it if she leaves, leaving Niannian totally speechless.
Niannian looks back and forth between them, completely lost. Shen Yan quickly steps in front of her to block Liu Ruyan.
He tells Ruyan that he would never stoop to such cheap tricks.
He warns her to stop making a scene, but she just gets more desperate. She begs him, promising to cut ties with Zhou Yu if that is what he wants. He coldly replies that literally nobody cares anymore. With that, he grabs Niannian and walks away without looking back. Once they are downstairs, Niannian carefully asks if they should have stayed. She wonders if leaving like this will make his ex even angrier.
Shen Yuan scoffs that he does not care, while Niannian sighs about the drama over a simple dinner. She asks if they can still hang out, looking like a kicked puppy.
He looks at her eager face and promises that of course they can. She cheers, pointing out they are completely innocent anyway. But then she hesitates, saying she has something on her mind but is not sure if she should speak up. Shen Yuan tells her to go ahead, and she slowly begins to speak.
She says his ex is way too toxic and treats him terribly. With that temper, who knows if she would have ended up hurting him? While he's processing this, she adds that the ex was also cheating behind his back. She totally ignored his feelings, proving she was never the right one for him.
She quickly backtracks, saying she might be overstepping if it makes him upset. And honestly, this green tea acting is top tier. Are they all like this?
She takes every chance to drive a wedge, just like Zhou Yu used to.
She belittles Yuan under the guise of helping Liu Ruyan, and only that toxic ex is blind to it. But Yuan tells her not to worry, he's got this under control. Shen Niannian reads his expression, and over the next few days, things get interesting.
Liu Ruyan keeps showing up at his office while Shen Niannian asks him out every single day.
Honestly, Yuan is way too busy with a massive new project to care about their drama. He rejects both of them, leaving his ex looking more miserable by the day. She even starts camping outside his apartment, and he just spots her standing down there.
He lets out a sigh and completely ignores her. Absolute savage behavior.
It is actually wild how fast his feelings vanished the second he walked away from her. He used to think a breakup with Liu Ruyan would literally destroy his entire world. He thought he would be absolutely heartbroken, but turns out he is totally fine. Meanwhile, Shen Niannian is being super understanding and gives him space to work. Instead, she just leaves him sweet, thoughtful messages on WeChat. She tells him to reply only when he is free. We love a drama-free queen. Compared to his toxic, clingy ex, Shen Niannian is a breath of fresh air. Sure, she plays the green tea card a bit, but honestly, she's a top-tier cup. Our boy finally realizes that he does not actually hate green tea girls. He only hates the ones who actively try to ruin his life. If Zhou Yu had actually used those manipulative tricks to help him, he would have loved it. Honestly, thinking about it this way completely clears up his past regrets. But a couple days later, Liu Ruyan suddenly ambushes him right in the middle of work. She struts right up to his desk in front of everyone, holding an exquisite gift box.
She tells him she spent days handpicking this perfect birthday gift for him. She opens the box right there, hoping he will love it.
Inside is a gorgeous luxury watch, complete with diamonds around the dial. The office erupts into whispers as his coworkers start hyping them up and winking.
Since Yuan keeps his personal life private, nobody here knows they actually broke up.
She gives him this desperate, hopeful look, begging him to accept it. He freezes for a second, suddenly flashing back to his actual birthday. Back then, she also gave him a watch, but she let Zhou Yu pick it out. When he called her out on it, she literally asked what the big deal was. Now she wants to buy his forgiveness, but Yuan snaps back to reality. Right in front of his excited coworkers, he politely tells her that his birthday was weeks ago.
Giving a gift this late is honestly pointless, leaving Liu Ruyan completely stunned.
She starts panicking, but he suddenly remembers something important. He reminds her how she ditched him on his birthday just to run off with Zhou Yu. He also walked out that night, leaving her original gift behind at the restaurant. To prove a point, he pulls up the number for the Starry Sky restaurant. He calls them up right there, and they answer almost immediately. It is the exact same waiter from that night, asking if he needs a reservation. Yuan says no, but asks if they ever found a lost gift box. Inside was a luxury watch, and the waiter instantly remembers who he is. He explains he booked a private room on the night of the 19th. He mentions how his ex slipped out without paying, leaving him to settle the bill. Talk about instant karma. Liu Ruyan visibly flinches. She goes pale. The waiter remembers. Yuan asks if they found a watch, and they actually did. He sighs in relief. Thank God. Hanging up, he turns to face her. He coldly tells her that he is returning her watch tonight. No need, she frantically shakes her head in shock.
She did not mean to abandon him.
She begs, but he just smiles. Oh, he gets it. After all, her precious little Yu was supposedly dying. Ditching him? Totally justified. Honestly, paying for his own birthday dinner at that fancy restaurant was fine.
Spending a few thousand yuan to see where he truly stands?
Completely worth it. He points at the box. His birthday's already over. Useless now. He tells her to save it for Zhou Yu instead, making her eyes well up. She begs, heartbroken.
But Yuan just shakes his head, telling her it is fine.
He already got his gift. He pulls out the Patek Philippe, proving he already has one.
No need. But then she spots his luxury necklace. Dumbfounded, shocked.
He sits back down, telling her to leave so people can work. With everyone staring, she finally runs off in embarrassment. Once she is gone, a coworker rushes over.
Did you break up? Then they pointed his neck. Wow.
Who bought you that? That is the insanely rare Patek Philippe Celestial.
Wait, what? The coworker pulls up the official website to show him. It is an exact match.
521,000 yuan! He gasps and runs out after work.
He rushes to the nearest store to verify it is real. Mind blown.
Just then, Shen Niannian texts him a picture of their old childhood home.
A massive magnolia tree standing in the courtyard. Seeing it unlocks a flood of memories. Back when her family went bankrupt and lost everything. They rented a place in his neighborhood.
Magnolias in bloom.
Walking downstairs,
he saw a gorgeous girl standing there like a delicate doll. But she was incredibly cold with eyes like deep blue sapphires. Totally indifferent, he just glanced and walked away.
That was their first meeting before she became his neighbor. Honestly, they only saw each other around and barely even talked. But one day, our guy comes home to find a huge crowd gathered in the hallway. They were loan sharks at the neighbor's door, and when he looks up,
he sees Shen Niannian hiding in the stairwell above, terrified out of his mind.
Feeling bad for the poor kid, our main character secretly sneaks him into his own apartment. After that, Shen Niannian's parents show up at his door to thank him. From then on, they constantly drop the kid off, and honestly, he's incredibly polite. He barely speaks a word, seeming totally closed off. Our main character is slammed with schoolwork, so he doesn't really have time to chat. He just gives the kid a quiet corner to let him do his own thing. 3 years fly by, and then a friend named Ying mentions the family debt is settled. They even got their massive company back and are moving back into a luxury mansion. With the nightmare finally over, Shen Niannian finally smiles and starts clinging to our main character. He follows him everywhere, calling him Big Brother. But then, tragedy strikes when his parents die in a crash. But instantly, greedy relatives swarm like vultures to steal the inheritance, causing absolute chaos. Once again, Shen Niannian is left crying alone in the dark hallway, looking absolutely heartbroken. Our guy just can't leave him there, so he brings him back during his college prep. Too busy studying to actually babysit, he tells the kid to just make himself at home. Once exams finally wrap up, Shen Niannian gets packed up. His strict grandfather takes him back, and by the time our main character starts university,
Niannian is moving abroad, but he leaves behind an insanely expensive necklace as a parting gift.
Our main character immediately texts him, asking why he bought something so pricey, but Niannian says it's cheap. Wait, 520,000 is cheap? Talk about some serious rich kid energy. He says he just thought it looked great on him and asks if he doesn't like it. Our main character is speechless. He knew the kid was rich, but this is next level. Calling a $500,000 gift cheap is wild, so he calls him out for a quick dinner. Niannian happily shows up, but once they finish eating, our guy tries to hand the necklace back. It is way too expensive for him to accept.
Niannian just stares, asking if he hates it.
Low-key sweating under that intense gaze, our main character stammers that he really just cannot take it. He says he doesn't have the shamelessness to keep it, and after begging him to take it back,
Niannian finally reaches out and takes the box, making our main character let out a massive sigh of relief. Suddenly, the kid stands up and chucks the entire necklace straight out the window.
He turns around with a sweet smile, saying if he doesn't like it, they can just buy another. Our main character almost has a heart attack, bolts out of his seat, and sprints downstairs like a madman. Now, this restaurant is situated halfway up a mountain, which Niannian picked on purpose. It is incredibly isolated, with absolutely nobody around downstairs. He finds the necklace in a clearing, but the priceless gemstone is completely shattered. That is literally 520,000 down the drain, and our guy is clutching his chest. As he stands there crying over the pieces, Niannian casually strolls up with his hands in his pockets. Our main character is literally losing his mind, screaming at him for breaking such an expensive piece. The kid just smiles warmly, saying since his favorite brother did not want it, nobody else gets to either. He would rather destroy it than let anyone else touch it. The sheer casualness in his voice and those yandere eyes make our main character's scalp crawl. Talk about a major red flag. Gulping in sheer terror, our guy quickly mutters that actually, he kinda loved it. He thinks it is too expensive, but she wants him to have it. Suddenly, Shen Niannian clings tightly to his body, pulling him into a hug. Her soft, sweet voice whispers right in his ear, blaming herself for accidentally breaking his favorite watch. She apologizes softly, leaving our boy completely frozen in place. His mind goes totally blank. Like, why is she suddenly hugging him? Shen Niannian sweetly tells him she brought an umbrella along. He looks down and notices her trench coat belt has somehow slipped completely undone. Feeling her warm body heat pressing close, he wraps his hands around her slender waist to tie it. The cold wind blows, but he is suddenly feeling pretty warm. Once the belt is secured, he lets go and stands straight up. She smiles and tells him to go on up, and honestly, he just cannot resist her.
Back upstairs at the dining table, Shen Niannian keeps happily piling food onto his plate.
Our boy finally finds his voice to chat with her before heading home. Washing up completely distracted, he goes to bed, drifting in and out of sleep. Suddenly, he is dreaming about wrapping his arms around Shen Niannian's slender waist all over again. Except in this dream, he is not tying the belt, he is slowly undoing it. Dreaming of undressing her, he snaps wide awake with his heart pounding. Morning light is bright, leaving him totally dazed. He slowly covers his face, realizing he is doomed for catching feelings like that. Dragging himself out of bed to wash up, the mirror shows a totally frustrated face staring back. He quickly grabs his phone, searches up a calming mantra, and recites it aloud. Finally, calm. At noon. During his lunch break, he rushes to the Starry Sky restaurant to get his lost watch. Then he heads straight over to Liu Ruyan's company to return her things. Liu Ruyan chases after him, calling his name, but he completely ignores her. He steps straight into the elevator, but Liu Ruyan keeps desperately following him. She begs that she is done with Zhou Yu, but he tells her it is none of his business. He demands she stop bothering him, especially since bringing personal drama to work is incredibly annoying. Workspace drama is incredibly annoying to him, yet she follows him all the way to his desk. He snaps, asking why she is so senseless when Niannian never bothers him at work. Yet she keeps pestering him constantly. Seriously, why can't she learn from Niannian? Liu Ruyan just stands there completely frozen, her lips trembling. Her eyes turn red with hurt, making him remember how she used to call him senseless. She always compared him to Zhou Yu, so honestly, he feels absolutely zero guilt now. Looking down at his desk, he suddenly notices a very familiar-looking luxury gift box. He pops it open to reveal a brand new Patek Philippe watch. Our boy is totally shocked. Who even left this here? A coworker nearby winks, telling him that a gorgeous girl came by earlier. She claimed he left his necklace at her place and wanted to return it personally. The guy keeps nudging him, excitedly raving about how insanely stunning that girl was, saying she is hotter than any celebrity, and teasing him about having a wild night. Blushing hard, he awkwardly tells them to stop talking complete nonsense. It has to be Shen Niannian. She actually bought him another luxury watch. Hearing this, Liu Ruyan completely loses her cool and grabs him tightly. She demands to know if it is Shen Niannian and if they slept together. Ruyan is shaking Yuan so hard he is getting dizzy, screaming about them sleeping together. Before he can even speak, someone violently shoves Ruyan out of the way. Niannian immediately grabs him to ask if he is okay, and a flustered Yuan quickly stands up. Yuan asks about the Patek Philippe watch, and Niannian just smiles and says he liked it. She broke his necklace, so she had to compensate him, and Yuan is completely speechless. Bro, that watch is $520,000, not $52. Actually, it is over $1 million now, and he only makes $20,000 a month. He wants to return the watch, but he is terrified she will lose her mind again. Remember when she smashed his necklace? Yeah, so he hesitates and stays still. Ruyan gets right back up, glaring daggers at Niannian. She yells at Niannian, calling her a homewrecker for trying to steal her man. Niannian just blinks, playing innocent, and saying her dear sister should not misunderstand their wild night. Sure, they did some things they should not have, but they are totally innocent. Major sarcasm here. This completely breaks Ruyan, and as she lunges forward, Yuan gets the ultimate headache. He finally snaps, screaming for both of them to get the hell out. And just like that, our boy sweeps both of these toxic girls right out his door. The second they leave, his nosy coworkers swarm his desk like absolute vultures. They give Yuan a huge thumbs up, teasing him about pulling two absolute bangers.
Seriously? Having two gorgeous women fighting over him is next level.
Talk about living like a king? Who would not want two stunners getting this jealous? They admit they have never seen this before. And though Ruyan is pretty, the other girl?
She is a complete 10 out of 10. Did Yuan ditch his ex for someone hotter?
The rumors are getting wilder by the second, and the guys are losing their minds.
Yuan's face turns bright red as he tells them to shut up with the gossip.
He claims Niannian is just his sister, but the guys are not buying that sister excuse. Yeah, right. A sister who buys you $1,000,000 watches? Yuan just rolls his eyes. He quickly shoves the massive luxury watch into his bag, his mind completely racing. To keep his sanity, he blocks Ruyan and starts ghosting Niannian completely. He focuses entirely on his work until Friday, when a massive charity gala rolls around. His boss gets an invite to the high society event and decides to bring some staff. Thanks to his killer performance on the last project, Yuan actually lands a spot. The venue is absolutely stunning, packed with elite high society types and flashing lights. But honestly, a low-level worker like Yuan has no business mingling here anyway. So he and his coworker just hide behind the champagne tower to destroy the buffet. Right in the middle of eating, his coworker nudges him to look at his sister. Yuan looks up and instantly spots Niannian standing right in the center of the crowd. She is wearing a gorgeous fitted dress and stunning high-end jewelry. With her elegant shoulders on display, she completely outshines everyone in the room. She looks incredibly beautiful, and then her eyes lock onto Yuan. She starts walking over with a sweet smile, but then he spots Ruyan and Zhou Yu. Both are dressed up, but they seem to be having a quiet, tense argument. Ruyan looks completely miserable while Zhou Yu desperately whispers something in her ear.
He practically looks like he is begging, and Ruyan has clearly had enough.
She aggressively slaps his hand away, turns her head, and immediately spots Yuan. Her eyes light up instantly, and she starts marching straight toward him, too. Yuan gets a bad feeling out of nowhere and hastily gulps down his cake. He tries to slip away through the back, leaving his confused colleagues behind. "Where are you going, Yun?" He ignores them and runs toward the side. Sprinting down the hallway, he glances back only to see Shen Niannian and Liu Ruyan chasing right after him. Hearing them call out for him, he takes a deep breath and finally stops in his tracks. Yuan turns around with a polite smile on his face, wishing them a very good evening. Thinking they would not dare start a scene here, he laughs nervously and acts surprised. He greets them, but Shen Niannian immediately steps up and clings to his arm. But Liu Ruyan snaps in a rage, yelling at her that he actually belongs with her. They lock eyes and the tension instantly skyrockets. Yuan gets a massive headache right as Zhou Yu comes running over, desperately clutching his long coat. He rushes over to stand beside Liu Ruyan, begging her to wait while throwing a bitter look at Yuan. With jealousy burning deep in his eyes, he suddenly loses his footing. With a loud yelp, he trips right into Liu Ruyan, who instinctively reaches out to catch him. Zhou Yu wraps his arms around her waist, softly whining that the floor is just too slippery. He weakly thanks her while throwing a smug, triumphant smirk in Yuan's direction. Yuan is so sick of this green tea act. Meanwhile, Shen Niannian glances at him. She gently tugs his sleeve and asks him to leave, and he gladly turns to walk away. But right then, Shen Niannian also slips, falling straight into Yuan's arms. She wraps her arms around his waist to barely stabilize herself. This completely breaks Liu Ruyan. She throws Zhou Yu aside and storms over to pull them apart. Zhou Yu, who is still holding onto her, gets completely caught in the crossfire. He faceplants straight onto the hard floor, making a brutal thud. Ouch! Even Yuan felt that fall. Shen Niannian quickly lets go, frantically apologizing. She says she just slipped, and Yuan calmly replies that it is fine. In a total fit of rage, Liu Ruyan throws a fist toward Shen Niannian, screaming that she won't spare her. Shen Niannian quickly ducks behind Yuan, crying out for her brother to help. She whimpers about how scary she is, which completely triggers Liu Ruyan into absolute rage. With her eyes turning bloodshot, she lunges forward, determined to beat Shen Niannian to a pulp. She calls her a fake green tea, screaming that she is sick of her. Shen Niannian does not even dodge and takes a heavy hit right to the chest. Seeing this, Yuan completely snaps, delivering a powerful kick that sends Liu Ruyan flying. Liu Ruyan looks back in utter shock, on the verge of tears as she cries out his name. She asks how he could choose her over his ex, sobbing about whether he still loves her. Yuan fires back, telling her to beat it, while Shen Niannian secretly smirks. She quickly hides her triumphant face, clutching her chest and crying out that it hurts. Yuan gets genuinely worried, quickly checking up on her to see if she is all right. Shen Niannian continues to play victim and whimper as he gently helps her stand up. He turns back to Liu Ruyan, coldly demanding she stop acting like a total psycho and making a scene. He reminds her that they broke up ages ago and begs her to stop harassing him. He warns her that if she ever targets Niannian again, he will make her absolutely regret it. Liu Ruyan stands frozen in place, looking completely shattered. This breakup hits different. Beside him, Shen Niannian softly asks him if they really broke up a long time ago. He nods, confirming that it ended a while back and there is nothing left. He asks if she's okay, urging her to see a doctor immediately.
Shen Niannian immediately stands straight. Like, why hold back now?
She charges out like a straight-up leopard, grabbing Liu Ruyan by the hair and scratching her up. Everyone was completely shocked. That brawl was absolutely wild. All four of them became famous, but later on, the truth finally drops. Turns out Shen Niannian is actually the granddaughter of the giant Yunzong group. Years ago, her parents fell out with her grandpa and left to build their own business. But they ended up completely bankrupt, forced to crawl back to the old man for help. He cleared their massive debts, but right after that,
Just as they were moving back, a tragic car crash took both of their lives.
those annoying relatives causing scenes earlier were actually from her mother's side. Even her father's family kept their guard up, so the grandpa eventually shipped her overseas. The old man's family was a toxic mess, and he was way too busy with work. He never really cared about her, basically just sending money every month. Leaving Shen Niannian to survive all on her own, she low-key had a really rough time. After the fight, Shen Niannian throws a tantrum demanding our boy take her to the hospital. In the car, she grabs his hand, begging him since he is finally single. She wants them to be together, leaving our MC totally conflicted. When he does not answer, she suddenly turns cold and demands the driver pull over. The moment the car stops, she leaps out and runs off into the night. He chases after her in a panic while she just limps forward. She is crying and wiping her tears, sobbing that since he does not want her, she might as well just end it all. Talk about a massive headache for our boy. He catches up and begs her to stop acting crazy and just get to the hospital. But Shen Niannian completely refuses to cooperate, shouting that she is not going. As he pleads, she suddenly turns around with totally red, teary eyes. She tells him that if they cannot be together, her life has zero meaning. Our guy is just stunned, frozen solid in the chilly night breeze. But after running a bit, she walks right back to his side, sobbing quietly. In a super soft voice, she whispers that she knows he does not love her. She promises she will be good, go to the hospital, and not cause any trouble. She gently touches his face, apologizing for making him worry so much. She promises never to act spoiled again, begging him to forgive her. He sighs deeply, taking her hand. Honestly, how could he ever blame her? Giving him a brave, fragile smile, she slowly limps back into the car. She whispers that she knows he still has feelings for his ex, Yanyan. She promises not to act up, saying she will just lock her love deep inside. She blames herself entirely, crying that she should never have confessed her feelings. Our guy just shakes his head, like the manipulative green tea energy here is absolutely wild. He knows she is totally putting on an act, but honestly, he completely falls for it. At this point, he kind of understands his ex now. This kind of charm is actually impossible to resist.
Pinching his brow, he reminds himself that he and Liu Ruyan are already history anyway.
They are completely done, so from now on, he and Niannian should be together. He tells her never to mention the ex again, making her look up in shock.
She asks what he means, and our guy just smiles as he sits down right next to her.
He tells her he wants them to be together, and her eyes instantly light up.
Shen Niannian grabs Yuan's hand like her life depends on it, desperately asking him to be with her.
Yuan just nods, even though he knows she is a total green tea manipulating him. She is obviously playing the victim to get his pity, but he is low-key willing to fall for it.
I mean, what else can he do? At this point, they might as well just date.
He tells her they should try dating for a bit, and if it does not work out, they can separate. Shen Niannian immediately throws her arms around him, her sweet scent hitting him as she calls him her beloved brother. She promises they will never break up, and he just smiles back at her. He gently pats her back, agreeing to stay together while asking what happened with his toxic ex, Liu Ruyan.
Love is honestly way too complicated, and since he's single anyway, why not take a chance?
He actually likes Shen Niannian too, so it makes perfect sense to just go for it.
If it works out, great. If not, they can just go their separate ways.
Meanwhile, after that wild charity gala, Liu Ruyan and her toxic white moonlight officially crash and burn.
Apparently, he storms into her office to start a massive fight. Honestly, watching these toxic exes ruin each other is so satisfying. He ended up leaving the city in a total rage, while Liu Ruyan faced the fallout of her banquet brawl.
After Zhou Yu turned her entire office upside down, rumors spread that he even leaked classified company data. He was basically forced to resign, and Yuan never saw him again after that.
On his final day, the guy tried to visit Yuan at work, but Yuan completely ignored him.
A coworker ended up passing on his message. Sorry, Yuan, and I wish you a happy life.
Yuan remained completely silent. That 2-year relationship with Liu Ruyan was officially dead and buried.
He had suffered, felt broken, and struggled for so long in that toxic mess. He finally moved on, found his peace, and even got himself an amazing new girlfriend. Life is actually pretty great now, and he does not spare a single thought for his ex anymore. He honestly thought that dating a rich girl like Shen Niannian would end in a quick breakup. But a year later, they are still together. He assumed his average background meant her wealthy family would block them.
He expected some crazy family drama, but surprisingly, absolutely nobody tried to stop them.
The family patriarch has zero demands for her and basically spoils her to no end. And the other relatives actually prefer she marries a guy with no elite backing to threaten their inheritance.
So they completely support the match. Yuan actually imagines some rich relative throwing $10 million at him, just slapping it onto the table and telling him he is not worthy of her, demanding that he take the cash and leave, but sadly that movie drama never happened.
They have been dating for a whole year now, and literally nobody in her family cares. Honestly, he feels like if they went and got married tomorrow, no one would even bat an eye. Their relationship is so smooth, there are not even minor fights. Usually in web novels, things get messy. Some toxic rival would jump out to steal a top-tier girl like Shen Niannian from our main character. You would expect a line of suitors, but the author actually cooks by keeping this incredibly wholesome.
Everything has been unbelievably peaceful. Honestly, it leaves Yuan feeling a bit stunned.
But he later finds out that whenever any guy tries to flirt with her even a little bit, it fails. Shen Niannian shuts them down instantly, proudly declaring that she only has eyes for her husband.
She gives them zero hope. She is basically like an impenetrable fortress of loyalty.
No amount of annoying suitors can get close to her. When Yuan learns about this, it hits deep. He gets pretty emotional, which makes him think back to how things used to be with Liu Ruyan. If only his ex had rejected other guys as firmly as Shen Niannian does from day one,
making it crystal clear to Zhou Yu and refusing to give him even a single chance to interfere. A guy like Zhou Yu would not have stooped to being a homewrecker using cheap tricks to steal her.
She obviously gave him hope first, which is why he kept trying to wreck their relationship.
Dating Shen Niannian really opened his eyes. The contrast is insane, and he finally realizes the problem was always his ex, Liu Ruyan. Turns out dating a total green flag means you do not have to stress about a single thing.
No more daily anxiety, no more overthinking, and before those bad vibes can even start creeping into his head, she has it covered.
She is already 10 steps ahead, shutting down other guys and handling the drama completely. He did not even need to get jealous. For a whole year, it was just pure bliss. Our boy finally learns what a healthy relationship actually feels like, experiencing nothing but pure, unbothered happiness. Just pure freedom and peace of mind. But after 1 year, Shen Niannian suddenly pulls out a ring.
She nervously asks if she can propose to him. He is totally shocked, then excited, but also a bit hesitant. To be fair, Shen Niannian is basically perfect in every way, and he has absolutely loved every single moment together.
But here is the catch. She is incredibly possessive and super clingy with him. Sometimes she goes to absolute extremes. Like that one time he rejected her necklace gift, she lost it.
She got so upset, she threw a 520,000 yuan necklace right in the trash. And when she confessed but got rejected,
she was literally bleeding but refused to go to the hospital. That kind of obsessive behavior is honestly low-key terrifying. Now Shen Niannian holds out her hand, looking up at him with those innocent puppy dog eyes.
"Will you marry me?" she asks. When he stays silent, she immediately starts acting super cute.
"I want to be with you for the rest of my life. Please marry me. Please marry me."
And honestly, she is just too gorgeous. She is pulling out all her classic green tea moves. Looking all cute and pathetic, it is literally impossible to say no to her. But of course, our boy is weak for this exact vibe. He slowly nods his head. He slides the ring right onto her finger. He really has zero resistance to a manipulative cutie. And honestly, against Shen Niannian, he never stood a chance.